Hi, welcome to today's video that invites you to bring a little bit of movement to your spine. I'm going to be doing this from a tabletop position, so grabbing your mats or blankets or anything that you need to prop under your knees. You can also do this from your bed, and you can do a standing version of it. So I've got my chair here and I will show you the standing version if you're not familiar. But let's come to a tabletop. So if you're on the floor or on your bed, knees underneath your hips or thereabouts, spread your fingers and find a little length in your spine. Take a moment to arrive here. So we can start to check in with our breath. If you're using the chair, bend a little into your knees. Think about hinging from your hips and just making sure that you can move your spine around. So wherever you are, let's bring awareness into our physical body. So starting to notice the parts of your body that connect to the surface beneath you. And you might actively press your fingertips down. You might have your toes tucked under, and you can press your feet, toes or tops of your feet down. If you're standing, you can press the soles of your feet into the floor. And you might naturally start to bring a little bit of movement into your spine anyway. So as soon as I get here, I tend to move side to side. So don't worry if you're starting to bring a little bit of movement in. You're starting to connect to your body and your breath. Take a breath in, send it down to your belly, and exhale out through the mouth. If you're on the floor, take a breath in, start to send your bum towards your heels, and I prefer to tuck my toes under for this. And then exhale as I shift back to tabletop. Inhale, bum towards heels. Exhale, coming back to center. Doing that one more time. Inhale, bum towards heels. If you're doing the standing version, you're sinking your hips back and then you're shifting forward. So just getting a little bit of movement into the knees and the hips and the shoulders. Come back to center, find your tabletop. We'll start with our cat-cow. Start to dip the belly, lift the sit bones, heart draws forward, chin might lift, press the ground away, slowly start to tuck the tailbone under and sense all the way up through your spine as you broaden into the upper back and eventually drop the head and let it hang heavy. Start to dip your belly, lift your sit bones. Think about drawing the shoulder blades down, spread across the chest, and let's pause here for a few breaths. You might even sway a little side to side, you might turn your head from side to side. Let's press the ground away, tuck the tailbone under, and find that broadness in the upper back, and we'll pause here for a few breaths. And where can you sense your breath in your body here? Maybe you feel it in the back of the rib cage. Maybe you feel it in your belly. Maybe it feels like it's more in your chest or that space between the shoulder blades. And let's come back to center and we'll move from side to side. If you have any wrist issues, you can do this down on your forearms, you can be up on fists, and really any way that you can move your spine is welcome here. So there might be something different that you'd like to do that, you know, maybe tabletop just isn't right for you today. You could even come to sit, and as long as you're moving your spine, you can do that from any position. So really it's just getting a little bit explorative and curious about the ways that you can do these practices yourself. So when I'm not around to guide or support, it's having that trust that you know how to move your spine, you have that in you. Natural, intuitive movements. Find a breathing pattern that works for you here as you start to look over one shoulder and then the other. Find length down one side of the waist and then the other side of the waist, swaying from side to side. And we'll bring it back to center. Walk your hands a little further forward. So you start to lower your forehead down. I'll give you a different option if you are standing, or I'll show you how to do the standing version. But as you start to lower your head down, think about lifting the tailbone and arching into the low back. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm dipping the belly. Think cow pose. And I'm not collapsing, I'm not bringing my head down to the floor. I'm finding that little arch and extension through the front of my spine. And you might feel like you need to drop the elbows and the forearms down, and that's okay. You could even send your bum back a little further towards your heels so that you're stretching down your arms and the side of your waist. Slowly walk the hands back towards you as you come all the way back up to center. And you could do that a few more times. So this is melting heart pose in yoga, Anahatasana. So if you think about melting the heart to the floor, but we're not just dropping it down and collapsing, we're keeping a little bit of control here. Finding extension through the front of the body. If you are using the chair, same thing here, but walk your feet back a little further, bend into your knees and spread your fingers and lower your forehead or lower your head in between your upper arms. You won't get as much of an extension in the spine here, but that's okay. The other option is to do it from standing. I just can't really show you. I can't really show you from there. Yeah, you could do it with your hands a little bit higher, so on the back of a chair. But take it easy, take it slow. And we'll come all the way back up to center. Let's ease off the wrists, come down to your forearms, or if you're standing or using the chair, then you can come to sit on the chair. Come to sit down in any position that feels good. And let's roll out the shoulders. Roll out the neck, the wrists. You can have your eyes open or closed. And notice how your spine feels. Can you sense any areas that feel open, spacious? Let's do one final movement, a couple of twists. So we'll reach our arms up, take a breath in. Exhale, take a twist to your right. Float your arms down wherever they want to land. You can look over the shoulder and breathe here. Inhale it back to center, arms up. Exhale, take it over to the other side. Inhale to center. Exhale, hands all the way down to your heart space. You can bring palms together, you can rest your hands over your heart, bow your head. Take a moment to thank yourself, your body, for everything that it gives you and allows you to do. Thank your breath that gives you life. Take 3 more breaths here. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this practice today. Take care. Bye.